Everybody, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful week working with Dash, building your web apps in Python. So in this week, I'm going to show you something slightly different. Most of the time, I've been showing you how to build data apps on the web using Python, using Dash. But in this case, we will have some data apps here, but I'm going to show you how to build and upload your resume to the web. So whether you're looking for a job right now or might be looking for a job in the future, it's pretty impressive to show your future employers a resume web page or website that you built yourself, to show your future employers everything that you have experience with, some testimonials of what people say about you, your contact information, and your resume page. Employers love that. They love to see that you can work with the web, that you can program, you're very good with coding. And so this is what I'm going to show you today. Specifically, we're going to focus on the home page, the testimonials, and the contact page. In next week's video, part 2, I'm going to show you how to build a projects page with this sidebar that will have 3 different apps in it. I'm also going to show you next time how to deploy your app to the web, so it will be like a link like this that you can share with your future employers or anybody that you would like to share this with. And this is what's so powerful with Dash, that you can build these kind of websites and they don't have to be data apps. They can be any type of website that you want, completely in Python. And it's really not that difficult, and today I'm going to show you how to do it. So come follow along and let's do this together. The best way to follow along, in my opinion, is to go into my GitHub and either do dash by Plotly, my main repo, just do code, copy this, and just do git clone and clone this. Git clone, and then just clone this, and you'll get the whole repo with everything, all the code that you need. You can also fork it, star it, appreciate that. And then after you clone it, go into good to know, go into resume, and these are all the web, all the files that you'll need. I'll also put this link under the video if you prefer to just go in here and just download, just raw, just copy everything and just download and create your own files. Your app.py file, your pages folder with all these different files, however you want to do it. So let's assume that you got everything inside your computer, and now you have everything inside this resume folder. You can call this whatever you want. I call it resume. Make sure that your folder structure is very similar to this one. You have your assets folder, where we have our data, Berlin crimes, and this CSV sheet is going to be used in part 2 for video part 2 for the projects page for app number 1 that we built for our future employers. And outside the assets folder, we have the pages folder where we have all the different pages of the app, testimonials, contact, homepage, everything. And outside the pages folder, we have our app.py file that brings everything together. This is not a page that is seen by anybody. This is just a file that connects all the pages together into a multi-page app with Dash. You don't necessarily need a VNV. This is just my virtual environment where I install my libraries. And the requirements.txt folder, this is just packages, libraries that we will tell render.com, a web service that will deploy our app to the web. This will tell the server what kind of packages need to be installed to run this app. So we can go over this in the next video. Okay, so let us start with today's tutorial, the contact, testimonials, and homepage. We're going to go over these 3 pages. So let's open the contact, testimonial, homepage, and the app.py file, which I'll show you at the very end how to bring everything together. So So let's start with the contact page, which is, I think, the shortest. So in the contact page that we see right here, contact, we see that we have, let's make this a little bit smaller. In the contact page, we see that we're importing dash, and because we're going to do dash page register page. This is how we register the page into the app. We're importing HTML, DCC, although I don't think we need HTML. We're not using it, so we can take this out. And dash Bootstrap, and this is to create the rows and the columns, like this design, this positioning of the text. First thing, we are going to register this page, contact.py. We're going to register it into our dash app. So when in the app.py file, when we create all the links for the nav bar, this page will be, this contact page will be registered. This app.py file will be able to find this contact page. So we register it. The order is 3. The only thing the order means is the order on the nav bar. So this is order, home is order 0. Projects is order 1. Testimonials order 2. And contact order 3. Order 3. So in the for loop, when we go over each one of these pages, the contact page will be the last one on the right. And then we are creating this color green, which we're going to use later for the text right here. And then we define the layout. Now the layout in a multi-page app with dash, you can define it as a function that you return something to, or you can just say layout equals HTML div or DBC row in 2 ways. Here I did it as a function, and I'm returning a DBC row, and everything inside this row, all of this, will be justified in the center. So this whole thing you can see is in the center of the page. And inside the DBC row, we have a column component, and inside the column component, all the text inside of this column component will be 6 columns wide, offset 2. This just means we're pushing the content 2 columns to the right. So 6 and offset 2. Try to change this to 1 or 0 and just see the difference in the positioning of the text on the page. And then we have the content. And the content, in this case, you can build it with HTML div, HTML h1. I build everything with Markdown because I like using Markdown. This is DCC Markdown. If you go to dash documentation, you'll see that you can go into dash core components, and in the core components you'll see Markdown. And here you have many different examples of how you can create or work with the Markdown in Dash. This is a Dash core component, which is a DCC. So we're building the DCC Markdown. This is the children, and in the children we're going to say create one hashtag. This is like an H1 header. This is the biggest header. Adam Schroeder. So this is big font. Class name. We'll go over class name in a second. Second Markdown underneath, FC Barcelona Ford. I am a very good striker on the Barcelona team. And we're saying the class name this is a Bootstrap class. We're saying it's going to be margin top 3, margin bottom 5. I'll put this link under the video, the cheat sheet that Anne-Marie built. And here you can read all about class names in Bootstrap. If you go into MT here, you'll see this means margin on top with breakpoints, just like we have here. And it just says, it gives you examples. Margin 0, like this one, 1, 2, and so on and so on. The more margin you have, the more margin you have between this text and above it, on top of it. So we did the same thing here. We said Adam Schroeder, and margin top will be 3. So there's going to be 3 units of margin between Adam Schroeder and the nav bar above it. Then we have H3 again, header 3, personal info, that's in gray. And then address is going to be green text. You see this green text, address. And then just regular Barcelona, Spain. This is where I live. This is my phone number. This is my email. Then we have LinkedIn in gray, LinkedIn, green text. And underneath, we are creating DCC Markdown again. We're putting a link. And this is how you put a link in Markdown. This is what the user is going to see in between brackets. And right next to it, in parentheses, is the real link. HTTPS is the real link that if a person clicks on this, it will open in a separate tab. Underscore blank is just a separate tab. Same thing with YouTube. This is charming data. This is what the user sees right here. But if we click on it, it will open a separate tab with the my YouTube channel as a Barcelona Ford. And that's it. So this is the contact page. The testimonial page is very similar. The only difference here is that the order is 2, so this comes second, 0, 1, 2, 3. And we're defining the layout. And inside the layout, here we are returning an HTML div. No particular reason, just a div. And inside the div, this is the content of the page, we're going to put an HTML h3. So this is exactly HTML h3 with the children text is exactly the same as DCC Markdown and 3 hashtags. This is HTML h3 in Markdown language. So exactly the same, but I just wanted to show you different ways of doing things. So HTML h3, people have had the pleasure to work with, like that. And underneath, we're going to align this in the center. Margin Y is like on the Y-axis, so this is top and bottom. 3 on top margins and 3 units of margins on the bottom. And then horizontal HTML HR, horizontal line. Again, everything is here in the documentation. I want you to feel comfortable with the documentation. So go into the documentation -HTML components, look at HR, and you'll see that it says horizontal line, HR component, a wrapper. Go to this link and it'll teach you all about the HR. So we have the HR, and underneath we have a DBC row. I put this as one row, all of this here. And inside the DBC row, everything is going to be in the center. This is all in the center. And inside, we'll have 2 DBC columns. 1 DBC column, 2 columns wide, all of this. And 1 DBC column with 5 columns wide, all of this. And I'm saying in this 2 columns wide, I want to put the head coach of Barcelona, Javier Hernandez Creus, right here, and underneath his title. And then to the right, 5 columns, we're going to put a DCC Markdown with the text. Adam is very professional, so this is what Barcelona's head coach Javier thinks about me as the Barcelona striker. Obviously, he is very, very nice because I'm a very good Barcelona player. And that's it. And then we are repeating the same thing here and the same thing here. We're building a horizontal line right here underneath a DBC row that has 2 column components, 2 columns wide and 5 columns wide, 2 and 5. And in this column component, we're putting their name in the title. And in this one on the right, we put Dembele opinion of me, his testimonial. And then the same thing at the very end. Right? So we are done with the testimonial page. So we did contacts, we did testimonial. Now let's go to the home page. The home page is a little bit more of HTML and DCC Markdown. The only thing different here is a couple of things. First of all, we are registering the page, the home page, so it can be read in the navigation bar in the app.py file right here. So we're registering it right here. And we're saying this is going to be the home page. Remember, you have to declare a home page in a multi-page app in Dash. You declare the home page with the forward slash in the path. Order is 0, so this comes first. and then we took a fake resume from this website, and I just copied it. So Adam Schroeder, where I live. Oh, I don't live in Barcelona anymore. I moved it to New York. Text in the center. I'm just aligning this in the center because here I'm not using the DBC row. I just use DCC Markdown and HTML div. So text center. And the only different thing I'm doing here is this is new. In this Markdown, highly motivated sales associate, I wanted to create artificial or manual breakpoints. So I want a breakpoint here, a new line, and I want a new line here after improving. You can do that with DCC Markdown \n. This is a new line, but you have to put style white space pre. Just put this inside the style component of the Markdown, and this will activate the breakpoints. See, improving, breakpoint, and then buying. Improving, new line, buying. So this is something new that I did not show you in the testimonials or contact page. Another new thing is to create lists. There's bullet points. You see bullet points here, and these bullet points, these are lists. And there are two ways to create lists. I did them either with Markdown, right here, where you have asterisk, space, and then the text. This automatically creates a list. Procedures, right here, this list. And then this list is 3 columns to the right. And another way to create a list is using the HTML, the dash HTML component. This HTML comes from dash. And you can create it by saying html.ul, and every single component in the list will be an HTML li, right? So applied security is the first text in the list. Trained and developed is the second text. So there's different second lists, second bullet points. So this is just to show you there are different ways of creating lists in Dash, in Python. And the rest, we're just repeating itself, so I'm not going to repeat myself. We do a break line here. We're styling the text in the middle, in the center of the page, and so on and so on. So now let's go to the last page, the app.py file. Before we go into the app.py file, I'm going to do a little bit of self-promotion here. I actually just wrote a book about Dash, finished it about a month ago, and it's going to go on sale in October, so check the link under the video to check it out. Also, if you're interested in supporting this Charming Data channel of mine, this is completely membership based. This is how the channel is run. And so thank you for your support. Thank you for considering. You can go into the Patreon link also under the video. Okay, so end of commercial. Let us go to the app.py file, which is right here. And the app.py file is where we are creating the navigation bar on top, and where every single content of every single page is shown underneath the navigation bar. So the difference here is that the layout, for example, cannot be a function. The layout is app.layout. First of all, we define app. This is the only place we define app, only in the app.py file. And then we do app.layout. And here we do not register page. Here we register this page. You see, dash register. We register the home page. Dash register. But in the app, we do not register a page. Here's where we instantiate Dash. We start Dash. We say use multiple pages true. We're going to declare the Bootstrap theme. It's a superhero theme. There are many different themes. See, Bootstrap, Solar, Vapor. We're going to create superhero. And then here we create the nav bar, which we'll go into in a second, the nav bar. And then we put the nav bar inside in the layout. Here's everything that goes onto the page of the app is going to be inside the layout. So we say DBC container, fluid false. This just creates some space on the left and space on the right, so it's not all the way to the end. We have the header first. Inside the container, we have the header, which we remember is our nav bar. And underneath the header, we have dash dot page container. Now this has a lot of things going on in the back end, but what this means is anytime we click on the navigation bar in a link, a new path is drawn. So this contact is /.contact, projects is /.projects, home is just /. Remember, the path for home was just /. So every time we click on something, the content of the page, the contact in this case, or the testimonials, all the content, all the layout of testimonials, this layout, everything in here of all the testimonials is going to go, all of this will go inside the dash page container, like this. It's all going to go in there, like that. So if I click on the contact link, all of this information, all of this layout, everything inside of here will go into the right here page container underneath the header. So that's why it's so cool. Everything is automated. You don't have to create links or callbacks. Everything goes underneath the header depending on the link that you click on. Now, the navigation bar is just a DBC. It's just a container because we want to make it a little bit fluid true, so there's some spacing. And the navigation bar itself is going to be dark, and the color going to be dark, and it's going to be a dark theme. And then inside the container, we create a row. This whole bar is going to be one row of the page. And inside the row, we are going to create a DBC nav. And for every link, every value of the registry page, we're going to create a link. So this is a for loop. And what we're saying here is for every page inside the page registry, now the page registry values is looking at every single app in the pages folder that was registered. So contact was registered, testimonial was registered, projects, which we'll see in the next video, was registered. So every single app that was registered, take the page, the value, and build a link. But before you build a link, only build the link if the page path does not start with /app. So let's go, for example, to the first page. The first page is going to be home, right? Because we said home is order 0. So the first page, the path is going to be /. So is this /app? No. So this is fine. We're going to create a link from the home page. Same with contact. Contact, the path is automatically /contact. So is this /app? No. Because it's not, we're actually going to create another link, a link for this in the nav bar. But if it is, which you'll see the app files are, app2 is right here, and this is the path is, this is the same as path equals /app2. Now because this is the path automatically in there, because this is the name of the file, we are not going to create a link for it. Only if the page path does not start with /app, then we are going to create a link. And this link will have the page name, and the link for it will be the page path. So contact, in most cases they are the same. Contact is the page name, and contact is also, with a lowercase c, is the page path. Testimonials is the page name. As you can see, testimonials is the page name. It's also the path, testimonials. The only difference is home. Home is the page name, you see home, but the path is a /. So this is actually /. As you can see, this is like a /. It's exactly the same. /. right? So that's it. Stay tuned for video part number 2, where we are going to go over the projects page, show you how to build this nested sidebar, which is this right here, and explain this a little bit. And we're going to show you how to build each one of these apps that connects to the CSV sheet and the assets folder. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to deploy it to the web using render.com. So this is a link you can see under the video that you can access this fake resume, and it's not too complicated, so I'm going to show you how to do that next week. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to show some love by subscribing below, or turning on your notifications, or supporting me on Patreon or on YouTube. I hope you learned a lot. Always remember, we're better together, so help each other out. Have a good week. Bye-bye.